you a briefing on customs and courtesies. This is very important. It's the easiest thing possible, but people still tend to mess it up every now and then. As an overview, I'll be going over the definition, greetings, saluting, and some closing comments. So, definition is pretty basic: traditions and behaviors passed down that indicate hierarchical respect between service members. Does anyone want to decode that, or does everyone understand that perfectly?
Sir.
All right. So basically, juniors to seniors, seniors to juniors, mutual respect between both parties, so on and so forth. And this has to happen all the time. This is not an optional thing. You always respect the rank, even if you don't respect the person. So this happens no matter what. So, starting off with greetings, can anyone tell me the 3 greetings? No. They're super easy.
Cadet Smith, Cadet Jennings, Bravo Flight. The 3 greetings are as follows: good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Sure.
You know what times each of them occur at? Be specific.
Good morning occurs at 0000 till 1200. Then afternoon occurs from 1200 to 1700, and then evening occurs from 1700 until 0000, sir.
That's 11:59 and 23:59.
My apologies, sir.
Take a seat. Everyone hear that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're only going to be dealing with good morning and good afternoon pretty much, since we're in ROTC, and you're free to go about your daily business. However, if you get a call in the evening, then that's pretty simple as well. So, like I said, occurs all the time, no matter what environment, no matter what you're doing, unless you're literally locked into whatever activity. And then if your superior greets you, then stop what you're doing and greet them and go back to your business. So there's a lot of confusion over multiple greetings. So say you are in a small classroom for class, Cap Spots pops in, you say, "Good morning, sir." 30 minutes later, you see him out in the parking lot, greet him again. So do it however many times necessary until the person says to you their wishes on the subject, like only greet me once per environment. But it's a basic staple to greet someone every time there's a change of environment. So at the DED, at Shin Complex, in the PA room. They'll tell you otherwise if they get annoyed by multiple greetings. So I hope you all know highest rank towards then the lowest. So if they're the same ranks, like if me and Cadet Kittle were both cadet majors, we would greet Cadet Kittle first. So you will greet everyone of every service. I know Army doesn't do this whatsoever, but we're not them. We're holding ourselves to a higher standard. So if you know all the Army ranks, which you probably should, they don't really do saluting over at Army. You'll salute them and they'll say, "Oh no, put it down, don't do that." So I'm not going to tell you that you have to salute like the Army cadets, but commissioned officers, yes, you'll get in trouble for not saluting them, obviously. So just render a greeting of the day, and that's fine. All their cadet ranks are marked by either circles or diamonds. It's pretty easy. They're cadet officer ranks. Everything else looks almost like enlisted ranks. So when you're in a marching detail, everyone will salute at the same time, and everyone will greet at the same time. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So during FTP and field training, you just have to coordinate with everyone. Just be like, greet on 3 or something like that whenever you're in a detail. If you're in a work detail and you're actually doing activities, then only one person can greet for the rest of everyone else. Everyone else can keep working. So staff cars, this is something that happened last semester, and apparently everyone missed 2-star general. So staff cars are usually, in the Air Force at least, they're dark blue, and they have a sort of a clear white top, and it's very easily distinguishable because they have the stars in place of the license plates. So it's pretty big and assuming. So what you do in that case is you're walking along the road, you know, sight line. I'm not talking about like literally if you like have binoculars or whatever. This is just normal sight. You see the stars, just stop, salute, wait until it's clearly out of your sight, then keep going about your day. So he didn't stop when we messed this up last semester, but on base, yeah, they will stop, they'll turn around, and they'll come and find your name. Seriously, they're not doing this. So make sure you pay attention for that. The most important thing though is that you must be audible. None of us want to hear, "Good morning, sir." Did anyone hear that other than the front row? Okay, thank you. Alright, yeah, be clearly audible. Make eye contact. Don't, like, I don't know, if you're walking this way and like I'm walking this way, wait till both our backs are turned. Like, don't make people turn around and do stupid stuff because you weren't paying attention. Think of it like a handshake. If you have a really timid and you know, unassuming greeting, then that's kind of like if someone's going like this with a handshake. So make it clear, firm, eye contact. General rule, 6 paces. They only say that because that's the distance at which you can recognize the name of the person if you recognize them, or you can see the ranks. If you need less distance and you mess up, you know, just explain. I'm not going to get super mad at you. So I already went over sight line for staff cars. Don't be ridiculous is there because, you know, a couple times I've been walking on the sidewalk and some random GMC cadet, whoever, will like scurry across the road in order to not intersect me. This happens on active duty too, and it just looks really stupid and it makes you look super lazy. Don't do that. Moving on to greeting ranks. Can all of you read those? I'm not going to read them off for you. So for other services, all the enlisted ranks are obviously different. And I know the Army and the Marines like to pronounce their full rank every time. So be aware of that. But that's pretty basic. You will always use the person's last name. Obviously with the rank, this should be common sense, but if you're a lowly lieutenant and you just say, "Oh hey General, how's it going?" that would be bad. So always last name. However, exceptions are your peers. I mean, look amongst yourselves. You don't say, "Oh, Cadet so-and-so, what's your opinion on this?" "Oh yeah, Cadet so-and-so, that's I think it's pretty bad." You don't do that. I mean, you can obviously say last names, first names, whatever you want with your peers, but if it's a new peer, obviously don't jump out and just say their last name, because they might be uptight. So the exceptions to, the last name, I already said a little bit, but answering basic statements, unless you're an FTP or field training, you don't have to answer basic statements with their full rank, just yes or no, sir. And the by relationship basis. So the 7 basic statements in reference to respect towards superiors. you will, at one point in your ROTC careers, need to use the 7 basic statements solely for answering questions during FTP and field training. But for now, I mean, it's a little ridiculous if you use it all the time, unless you want to be like super prepared, but it's not rocket science. So just if one of your superiors are talking to a group or to multiple people and you want to interrupt them, just raise your hand and say, "Sir, may I ask a question?" at the same time. And it's a respectful way to interrupt someone and then ask them a question. And then just use yes or no, sir. It's pretty basic stuff. Moving on to saluting, which is probably the most messed up thing ever. So, it's pretty easy. No cover means no salute, unless you're reporting in, accepting awards, or practicing drill indoors like in Clum Gym. And lastly, no salute zones. Does anyone know the no salute zones that we have? Yes.
Is it the patios and the detachment, like the outside and the covered patio?
No. What I mean by no salute zones is like while you're still wearing your cover. But it would be chin complex. So anytime you walk into chin complex, you don't have to salute. But you still have to greet. Greetings occur. Anyone? All
Only change the market.
all the dang time. Yeah. But don't assume someone only wants a single greeting. Because, you know, we had instances in the past where you greet someone once and they're really uptight, and you come around again and, you know, like you don't really greet them, and then they get all pissed off and it's a bad situation. So, moving on, when your cover is on, then you salute. So, there's a little primer for wearing your cover. Obviously, make sure there's 3 walls covering you, and that means that your cover should be off. However, if you are out in the open, always on. Unless you're on the flight line, and when you go into certain areas, it'll say no cover / no salute with a big sign, and that's when you know you're good to go if you're out in the open. So, if you're approaching someone from the rear, like say someone's I'm at the crosswalk and you're just walking up from the rear, don't salute me, just give me the verbal greeting, and I'll give you the verbal greeting back, and it's good to go, you can walk on. So, also when you're within the ranks of a flight, probably already know this, pretty simple as well. So if your hands are full, just verbal greeting, and the superior does not have to salute you. However, if their hands are full and your hands are not, then you have to salute still, plus the verbal greeting. So, don't make yourself look like a goon by saluting improperly. So, this is the only thing you should ever do. I don't want to see this. 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 This. Got it? Literally this. Your eyes are being like, well, your eye is being like covered. Think of it like a solid object. You get the picture. If you're terrible at doing that, then find a hard surface, put your hand on it, flatten it out. Because some people, I don't know why, it's not me, but have a difficult time like flattening their hand or whatever. Like, I guess if your hand is oblong shaped, then, I don't know, find a book and slam it repeatedly until your hand gets, just kidding, no, that's not training. Anyways, lots of people at once, just hold up until everyone has lowered their salutes. But until then, don't drop your salute, because if someone already has it up, then they're like, oh, they dropped their salute before me. So the junior always holds it up until the senior has dropped it. Now, if someone like completely forgets, then, and you're both walking really fast, then, you know, if you end up being like 30 feet away at the time, then by all means, that's fine. But if you're walking slowly, do not even think about dropping it until you're a fair distance beyond the superior. So this is a really big thing down here. It goes along with the don't make yourself look like a goon. If you're walking, you don't have to, good morning sir, you don't have to do that. It looks ridiculous. Good morning sir. It's doing two things at once. It's an awesome skill. I know you guys can do it. So, what I forgot to mention on here is going through doorways. If the person holding the door is a POC or officer, then what position in the element greets them, salutes them? Anyone? Yell it loud. Okay. So only him, plus the flight commander, obviously. But I see this being not being held up a lot, and you know, if they don't return your salute, then just hold it until you pass them, and that's good enough. They will still appreciate that. Moving on, we have a scenario here. I'll let you guys look at that for a couple seconds, and then I'll ask anyone a question. So, you come across these individuals on a random sidewalk. They're all walking this way. You're walking this way. Anyone want to answer the order at which you will greet them?
The male general, female lieutenant colonel, male lieutenant colonel, male major.
Not exactly right. Don't worry about it.
You greet them the greeting of the time of the day, gentlemen, and then the general is the highest ranking of the entire group.
Not right.
You'd say good morning or good evening, whatever time of day it is, and then you say gentlemen and ladies or men.
Not right.
Female first.
Come on, guys.
Would be the greeting of the day to the general. So good morning, sir. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, ma'am.
No. Alright, I'll just tell you. Never mind. Never mind. Questions over. Good gosh. Okay, so 06s and above are granted, you know, special respect because that's like top of the food chain, and especially so if it's the commander of any unit, plus Lieutenant Colonel throughout. So obviously you're going to want to, you know, place the most importance on greeting them first, and then you'll greet the female lieutenant colonel, and then a lieutenant colonel and a major you can just say gentlemen. So just to remember, you know, certain people, certain ranks have acquired a lot more respect, so to speak, than other ranks, even though you still have to respect the other ranks. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So, in closing, like I said, everything is subject to the audience that you are addressing. So, do everything by the book, annoyingly so, even until they say, stop. This is what I want, and then you can go about your business and follow their wishes. It's pretty simple. Don't try to be lazy and beat around the bush with any of this stuff, because it just makes you look lazy. So, also, you want to just use your brain and be respectful while staying humble. Don't give anyone, "Good morning, sir." Don't do that. Like, I mean, you can be really motivated, but you have to realize that sometimes your speech can come off as a different tone than what you want it to be. So just professional, clean. If you know the person already and you want to be motivated, I guess that's cool, but they might not like it. So keep those things in mind. So as an overview, I went over greeting, saluting, the scenario, and some closing thoughts. This concludes my briefing. Are there any questions? Anything whatsoever? Even things totally unrelated. Yes,
Sir, about the scenario game, could you go over exactly how that would be done?
So, morning, General so-and-so. Good morning, ma'am, and good morning, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir.
So when doing a greeting, you said to make eye contact with the senior ranking. What are some times you give a greeting, but they're not giving you eye contact?
Sometimes, like, for strictly verbal greetings, maybe some people won't, like, directly give you eye contact. Like, sometimes I'm guilty of that. Like, if I'm just sitting there and, you know, a lot of people are coming by, I'll just, like, turn my head slightly and say, you know, good morning or whatever. The eye contact thing is more so for knowing, like, you know, this person's definitely going to salute me or whatever. However, like, you know, just like I said, do it by the book and do everything by the book, because you never know if the person's going to, like, notice or whatever. Does that answer your question? Anything else? Noise.